attorney, and I don't know who has actually legal custody here, but this is a case where I would highly recommend getting you and your son. But right now, let's take another call, and this time it is G from California. G, are you there?
Hi, yes, Cynthia. Hi, I'm here. This is G from Los Angeles, and I want to say thank you to the attorneys for also fighting this great fight, and I'm sorry for everybody who's calling. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. That's how my case started. I was assaulted to the point of disability. A case opened. My son was removed 2 months in to the investigation. He was kept from me for about 10 months before given back to my ex and I jointly. Now we're in a situation where he has been removed from me once more. This time I am now being accused of emotionally abusing him. I feel that there is a lot of content here for a case of civil rights violations where my dependency attorney has given me a couple arguments to present, and that is that the father has been treated differently in our court case, and DCFS has been more lenient with the father than myself, and he believes that the differential treatment is because of gender bias. Now, my child now is at the point where he believes that I have made up the abuse, I have made up the assault that left me disabled, and he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And now I'm getting to the point where he is lying about me in court. I have a upcoming hearing, and I'm preparing for it. I have made a complaint with Sacramento Ombudsman, and I have not done the Department of Justice yet, nor DC, and I thank you guys for going over that. That's going to be my next step. I'm just kind of needing a little bit of navigating because now there's another open criminal investigation where I have been cyberstalked through my ex installing an enterprise software on my son's computer while he was with me for a couple months. He was surveilling me, and now there's a warrant request being issued to the criminal court for my ex, but now DCFS is totally enabling the parental alienation happening and keeping my son with me, away from me. So I'm trying to figure out what can I do within my power between now and my March 16th court date.
Well, hold on, G. Hold on.
For my son lying about me.
Okay, G. Connie, if she were in Tennessee, what would you advise her?
Well, if I were her attorney, and I don't know who has actually legal custody here, but this is a case where I would highly recommend getting you and your son with a counselor so that a well-trained counselor, especially one that is familiar with domestic violence and just kind of the emotional trauma that children deal with through the domestic violence situation, because and I know exactly I've seen this, I've had this kind of case, okay? It's like I could put names on the case that you're explaining to me, but you've got to be able to have a third party just kind of, and not necessarily really convince him, but help your son understand that he's in a high conflict situation and that it's going to, I don't know how old your son is. How old is your son?
11.
Yeah. So he's young enough that he doesn't understand trauma. So if you were my client, I would say get you and your son with some type of counselor. And if you have a court case coming up with March, I would ask that it probably be extended to be able to get that in place.
That's actually a good idea, Connie.
Thank you. I do want to add that his therapist that we previously had family sessions with ended up making a child abuse report against the father prior to the removal from me. And the county, LA County, had basically found it unfounded and decided to keep my son in the custody of the father. Does that? And then I wanted to also add that I do have new information that the father now has a direct line to the county director's assistant. Does that sound suspicious at all to you, that he's able to call and actually demand removal? Because I saw the court records where he's actually emailing the assistant to remove my son from me again.
Okay, so I'm going to say something. I mean, you are dealing with a narcissist, okay, right? I mean, you're dealing with a narcissist. There's a great book called Stop Walking on Eggshells, and you need to read that book. You can read the first 100 pages and understand the whole thing, because a narcissist is going to control you by continuing to create chaos, by forming enemies against you. And you need to sit down. You need to start journaling, write down everything that happens every day. And you need to, as soon as you find out something, such as him calling an assistant of a supervisor, you need to just engage them as well. Okay, don't let that, this is really hard to do, but don't let his actions put you down. Okay, don't let them put you down. You need to counterpunch at every move you can, and your counterpunch needs to be just very, very specific, very direct, and not hostile. Okay, because he is using his narcissism to get you hostile, and then he's demonizing you to these other people. And if you go to these people and you're hostile, you're going to be doing exactly what he has told them, he's predicted that you're going to do. So it's very hard. You've got to practice it, but you've got to sit down. You got to write notes. And when you find out he's called so-and-so's assistant, you need to call him as well.
Connie, I have familiarity with being married to a narcissist as well, and your information is spot on. That technique that they use is dog whistling, and it makes you go crazy, but nobody else can hear it except for you, and people watch it. We are going to take another break right now, and after the commercials, we will be back with more questions and answers from our attorneys tonight.
Hey, G, thank you for calling, and thank you for listening. Give us an update in 3 or 4 weeks.
I will. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, everybody.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win.